Hello, and welcome to the Lust Podcast Show, the show that is rated R for real and not PG for playing games. I am one of your hosts, the Boss Lady.
And I'm the D.O.C.
Join us for our weekly conversations about life, culture, and everything else. We want y'all to get to know us and get to love us. This episode of Cigar Junkie, and I always say that this episode is sponsored by Cigar Junkies and CJS Educational Services. So don't forget to check out our merch. And if there's anyone that is interested in our logo t-shirts, please let us know. We also got these going as well. So before we jump into this episode, we always like to pause. How are you doing, Mr. D.O.C.?
I'm doing pretty good. No complaints. Everything is great. How about yourself?
I have no complaints. My only complaint is that this year is going by too fast. I feel like we are already in August. It seemed like just yesterday it was May. Like Lily was just coming home, and now in less than 11 days we're gonna be taking her back to school.
No doubt.
So yeah, these days are just going by.
And I'm looking forward to it. Get the kids out your motherfucking house.
Shit. I do have a question. What are you smoking today? I'm just curious.
I got this from a cigar club, and it is called the Brick House. It's made by Brick House, but the actual one is, I don't know the actual cigar, but it's Brick House. Made by Brick House.
I just asked, does it actually smell good? Sometimes
this is a good one.
Sometimes some cigars smell like straight burnt ass.
I never had this because I never usually don't buy Brick House, but this one is pretty good.
It actually smells. It doesn't smell bad because, like I just said, some of them be smelling like burnt ass. Some of them be smelling like burnt leaves.
It is a JCN Brick House Maduro Mighty.
Okay.
That's what it's called.
Cool. All right. So jumping into this episode, I would say, compared to some other episodes, this may seem a little bit serious, this particular episode, but it's really not. But in addition to always trying to, just put information out there, we do try to be real. We do try to be rated R. We do try to be real about things. And one of the things that has come up around us, and I've actually had some people just come out and just ask, and that is, how do you guys approach your marriage or relationship, things of that nature? I've had people ask us, like, have y'all ever had situations where y'all talked about, marriage or divorce or counseling, all those type of things? And so I feel like sometimes we have to just pause and bring in a little bit of the real sometimes and not just the PG. And so I just wanted to start off with our appetizer, which is just about celebrity couples and stuff like that. Honestly, do you even follow celebrity couples?
No, I don't really do the relationships. I don't give a fuck whether it's a regular person or a celebrity. I don't really try to keep up with it. Like, I didn't know Offset was and broken up for Cardi B, and she's this and that.
That's crazy.
I try not to be all on the blogs and things like that. So I don't.
It is a trap.
Really pay attention. I really don't care.
It is a trap.
That Ben Affleck is divorcing J-Lo.
Is he?
That's what they say.
Are you serious?
Because it was on. It was on Suge Knight's podcast.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. But I ain't gonna lie,
that the reason why is because apparently, some videos that he kept all these videos, and apparently he had some videos with some incriminating stuff that puts J-Lo in a bad light, and these videos got leaked by the FBI to Ben Affleck during his little proceeding. Oh. So that's what all that's about, back and forth.
Oh.
That's what they're saying.
This is why you talk about celebrity stuff.
Allegedly.
Because it's juicy.
Allegedly. But I don't know and don't care. So.
And just like that, bam, balloon, air pop out the balloon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing about Cardi B and Offset, I ain't gonna lie, this ain't the first time that it came up that they done broke up, got back together, broke up, got back together. So I'm gonna be honest, I have no clue. I ain't gonna lie, I have no clue with them. Because I honestly thought they had got back together, but then I seen a picture of her pregnant, and they said, couldn't even, and I damn sure didn't know it here.
Can I ask you a question? Why do people keep up with that stuff?
I think it's a fascination. I think it's entertainment. I think it's strictly
so it's funny is
for
that
some people it's entertainment. For some people
how is
it's
it
more serious
entertainment
than
when
that.
most people root against the relationships and they want to see them fail?
Again, I think it's one of those things that sometimes I think
Like,
a lot of people. You gonna
root,
let me explain it or
no, I'm
no?
just saying I am, but I'm just saying people root against Beyonce and Jay-Z. Go
But
ahead.
people are also just as many people that root is just as many people that are fascinated in their relationship and them going through their relationship. Just like it's just as many people that don't want to see them together, but it's just as many people that follow them and keep up with them. It's the same reason why these reality shows are still big when it comes to celebrities and couples and stuff like that. It's still a hot topic. Celebrity couples and all that, believe it or not, whether you care, don't care, it is still popular. It's something that still drives the media. People love to see who's together, who's not together. Look at the whole thing with Nia Long and her guy. Like when that came out, like it was so many people that had so many things to say. Like that was like a hot topic.
Man, they didn't even know who that nigga was.
But it was still a hot topic.
Nigga? Who is he?
He was the Boston head assistant coach or whatever. I don't know his name. I don't remember his name. Exactly. But I remember that everybody talked about this coach from Boston who was messing around with this white girl and he cheated on me.
So who was your favorite celebrity couple?
My favorite celebrity couple? It's going to always be Michelle and Barack. I'm going to always go back to them. I really do like them. But outside of that, I like Viola Davis and her husband.
I think they phony.
He's
he's not a celebrity. You don't know who he is.
He's an actor. Viola Davis' husband is an actor.
So what's his nigga name?
I can't think of his name, but the nigga is an actor. He is somewhat famous. I cannot think of his name. But I do. I like Denzel Washington and his wife.
What's his wife?
I can't, Danetta Washington, I think. I can't think of the first name. These are just people I admire. I don't keep up with these people. Again, I don't follow them. I do like when I see Samuel Jackson, his wife. Because the reason why I'm saying these different couples,
what about Bill
Magic Johnson and his wife Cookie, because to me, well, Bill Cosby and Camille technically would go in this category too, because these are all couples to me that have had longevity in their marriage. And yeah, some of them have had issues, like Bill Cosby and all his stuff with the rapes and all that, and Magic Johnson with his thing. And yeah, I think all marriages go through that thing. I think, but for the long.
You mean Magic Johnson with his thing? That nigga got HIV.
Well, I'm saying his thing.
That's my nigga.
His thing. I mean, his thing. But yeah. So I like those type of celebrity couples who have been in the game for a long time. Like, been together from yay high to nay high. I used to like the ghetto couples, like the Remy Ma's and the Papoose, but then they broke up. A lot of the little young celebrity ghetto couples I like, they breaking up. So I can't pay attention to them no more. But we know you don't keep up with celebrity shit. You could care less. So I got a question. Do you think, like, when you hear shit about Jay-Z cheating on Beyonce or, like, Offset cheating on Cardi, do you ever be in the back of your mind, like, how is it, or, like, Nia Long and her guy cheating on her, do you ever in the back of your mind, but, like, how do these guys have these women, and how do they cheat on them?
See, we're getting caught up on one aspect of it, of a relationship, and the allure and the beauty. And you know, and I know in a real relationship, that sort of thing is going to wear off after a while. So a person can look good physically and be attractive, but they may not be compatible sexually. They may not be compatible financially. So there's a lot of different things that go into that. So don't get caught up into the allure that, because most guys be like, who would cheat on Beyonce? Who would cheat on Rihanna?
But I guess if Beyonce ain't giving head,
yeah, she may not. She may be like, I'm not giving head. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. And so it could be something, things like that. And so I think a lot of these folks get together for clout to increase and enhance their brand.
Business relationships.
So a lot of that has, especially for the celebrity, because they're not just gonna get with somebody that's gonna damage their brand.
So would you?
They're not gonna be one of my favorite couples. Was Whitney and Bobby. They kept it as real as you can get, and authentic as you can get.
We bought them up.
So, but yeah, Bill and Camille, authentic couples. She stayed with that nigga through all that bullshit. Cookie and Magic, authentic couples.
She stayed with him through all that bullshit.
So, those are the type of things that I look at, but I really could care less about who fucking who and when they doing it and how they doing it. But Jay-Z, who cares?
Okay, well, let's get down to the nitty-gritty, and that is a hard conversation that a lot of people don't like to have. I think even couples sometimes steer away from the conversations of relationships, also slash marriage slash when those relationships come to an end, divorce, all of those things. So before we go straight into the bad side about marriage, let's talk about like the positive sides. And one of the things I just want to ask you, D.O.C, is when you look at it in its totality, what is just a tidbit of advice that you can give someone who may be in a relationship or maybe with somebody? What's something that you could give out that could help them?
One thing I've always said, and I'm going to continue to say it, is that people need to be unapologetically who they are, their true selves.
True.
So you need to disclose certain things about you, whether it be financially, personally, sexually.
True.
You know, you don't want people finding out 10 years into the marriage that your credit is so bad that we're never going to be able to afford certain things.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
Those things should be disclosed at the beginning. So if I want to be with you, we can work on them together as a team to address this so it doesn't hinder us in the future.
True.
It could be sexually. You know, those things, you don't need to be finding out 5 years into the relationship that your girl is bisexual. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that.
True.
But those things should be discussed.
But what if that person never been put in a situation for that to actually come out? Like they didn't.
What do you mean? These are conversations that you have, and the thing in relationship.
Me and the girl maybe didn't know she was bisexual at the time.
How the fuck did you not know you were fucking bisexual, bro? Don't even give me no stupid. That's that stupid shit right there.
See, I'm getting offended because he always saying every time I say
stupid.
Something.
How the fuck do you not know you bisexual?
Because it literally be people who be confused and who be like, "Well, I didn't know I was."
So you gonna tell me that a man don't know he's gay
when he was young? Some of them say that, but like I didn't know when I was young I was gay. I just thought it was weird that I had them feelings or I felt that way or
you gay
like that. You
what the fuck is you talking about? I mean, that's just dumb, bro. I'm not about to entertain dumb shit, man.
Okay.
That's just dumb, bro. That's just dumb. But the question is, advice: be unapologetically yourself. You have to communicate in a relationship, and I'm talking about throughout the whole thing, good or bad. You have to communicate. The other thing, you have to be willing to compromise. I see too many relationships where it's like this end-all, be-all war, and people got to win every battle, and then that battle turns into this long-range war that we don't even know what we into it about. So a lot of that is solved with communications. The other thing is finances. Women can say what they want. They want love and this, but they want a provider.
Yeah.
They want a provider. And they want a provider who not only provides, but gives extras too. So you have to be, as a man, you have to be willing to step up to the plate. I always say you have to provide passion, and provide protection. That's what a man does. The 3P. Provide, protection, and provide passion. That's in the bedroom. Protection, a woman wants to always feel like they have security and safety.
Triple P's.
Whether it be financially or physically. And then provide. That's the financial stuff. Okay. So if you get 3 of those things in 8 to 10 or higher, then you should be straight. If she's having other issues, then there's some other shit going on. So that's my advice. But people got to talk out. And you're going to have, let me tell you, you're going to have issues.
True.
I know I have.
Now, before I respond to that, you said something. I want to just ask a follow-up behind that. You said communication, whether good or bad. So let me ask you this. How do you communicate bad stuff? Because a lot of times people don't communicate the stuff that may be deemed bad because they honestly just don't know how to communicate.
Well, I think part of it is
communicate that.
I think part of it is that you should not have any rules on how you communicate. If a person wants to get certain things off their chest. The other thing I should do is that I think it should be done in privacy, meaning no other people. That includes kids. You don't want kids to be seeing or hearing or observing certain conversations.
It does affect the kids.
So that's one thing I've been big on. Like if you have these hard conversations, you want to no distractions. Private, so you want to be private because you may have to talk about some hard shit that you don't want other people privy to. So so you have to. So that way. a person never feels like they're being fronted on in front of other people. That's the other thing, because it becomes a competition. So, because when you can have a conversation when it's just you and her, and that sort of thing. But that's my thing, is that you're gonna have those conversations about finances. Why are you spending this type of money, and where is it going to? Even if we got it, what are you doing? What are you doing? You got an issue with something. And then there are times where you're gonna have to confront people on certain things. Luckily, we haven't had those sort of financial sort of issues and concerns. Not saying that we haven't had financial issues. Well, I'm not gonna even say that, especially in the beginning stages of just learning how to live with a person and things like that. But once again, we were able to sit down and talk that out and develop a plan, and then attack that plan and evaluate it to see if it's working, and we're doing our thing. So, but you got to be able to talk, man. And like I say, it's gonna be dark days, and that's the other thing with this new generation, is that they run at the first sign of conflict. I think conflict is inevitable in any relationship, whether it be with you and a lady or family. It's just part of it. And the strength of the relationship is how you work yourself through conflict, whether that be internal or external.
That is true. I think one of my number one things is you have to have is patience. And I say that because you need patience on a personal level, because you need patience with yourself. I think when you come into a relationship and it becomes something serious, especially if it becomes something serious fast, you have to be patient with yourself, because this may be your first time, or this may be the first time in a relationship with a particular type of person that you're going through all this. So you're going to make mistakes. You're going to say the wrong things. You're going to do the wrong things. I think that as long as those wrong things that you do or say or happen, as long as they're not egregious, and as long as they don't go against whatever your non-negotiables may be, then I think that's how you learn. But I think the biggest thing is that you have to have patience, and then being patient with that other person, because it's the thing, you don't know what type of relationships that person may have come from. Yeah, we all answer those stupid
bring
questions.
Those baggages in.
Yeah, we do. When people date, we go through this thing where we sit there and we ask a person 21 fucking questions. So, how was your last relationship? So, did it end this? Do it? And people are going to give you fucking cliche answers, because literally they're fucking on the spot. Literally. So I'm not going to get deep and down and dirty with my answers. So you're going to get those cosmetic answers. So when you really start to peel back the layers of this person, you may not like what you see, and you have to be patient if you want something to build from that relationship.
So how long do you think that takes to learn a person? I'm curious.
I'm going to be honest. And don't get me wrong, and please don't take this the wrong way. I think it's a never-ending process. And what I mean by that is because I am still learning things about you. You're still learning things about me, because it's the thing, as we grow old together.
But not major things.
Not major things. I'm talking about minor things. But as you get older, or as you go through certain levels in a relationship, you learn more things about yourself.
No, what I was getting at is that how long before you say, I want to commit to being with this person? How long should you go through that process?
I think some months to maybe the first year.
I think just a year?
Well, honestly, I think it's more than a year. Honestly, I don't think we really knew each other until we were into like year 5, year 10.
I was going to say, me personally, I was going to say at least 3 years, 2 to 3. I would say, because you start to learn different, not only, you start to learn how layered the person is after like 2 years.
True.
So you learn, not only the first year, you just learning that individual.
True.
And then if y'all kicking it, right?
That first year,
hold on, let me finish. After y'all kicking it, then you start to learn his friends and his family.
True.
So that really gives you an insight of who that person is.
But I do think within the first year, you may see some things that may, I wouldn't say red flag you, but within that first year, you should be able to have an assessment of whether this could be something that potentially could be greater than past 3 or 5 years.
But I'm talking about before you commit.
Oh yeah, well I think it is a couple of years. It is.
I'm not gonna be real, because me and you, I didn't commit to you within those first year.
No, we didn't even.
We started kicking it, but you
started kicking it, but we wasn't exclusive.
No.
If I could use that term, we were not.
That's
exclusive.
A good point.
So we were not, when we first when we were initially first starting.
Yeah,
we were not exclusive, because he like, okay, I'm new here on campus. I'm learning, and then I'm like, okay, and I'm still dealing with someone and learning the things of that nature. So we're not exclusive.
It was
but we're not going to be disrespectful.
It was
either.
about 2.5 years before we got super serious.
Exactly.
Keep it real.
And then we moved in afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, you do have to take
2.5 years.
You do have to take some time to get to know that person, because it's the thing. What they may show you within the first couple of months may not be that same person within the end of that year. So I hate to say it, but it's almost like your relationship's got to be battlefield tested within the first years to see if it's going to withstand. So let me ask you this.
And that's what I'm getting at is a red flag for me in a relationship is a person that's talking about they about to marry or get engaged within the first 2 years of meeting that person.
Oh, so you think that's a solid red flag? That's
because you're not.
So you don't believe in love at first sight, or you don't believe when people say, "Oh, I met him and within a year I fell in love and knew."
You can love, but you can still not go through the whole process. You still learn that person. You don't make the commitment. You don't seal the deal. Is what I'm getting at.
Okay. I wouldn't do it. So you think a person who gets married within the first 1 to 2 years,
they lusting. They ain't went through no real conflict.
So you don't think a marriage like that would last then? If it's just based off that 1 to 2 years? If it's based
off that, I don't think so. I've seen it. I'm just based off my experience that I've seen with other people that have went that route. They've met a person and then got married, engaged within that year or two. They generally, because what happens is once they commit and get married, now in the marriage, they're learning crazy shit about this person that they would have learned during the courting stage. Like for example, I know for a fact that I know people that didn't live with each other at all.
No, that's a big no-no.
The first time that they moved in together with each other is when they got married.
Yeah,
and it was complete fucking disaster.
That's a big no-no.
Complete disaster. Yeah. Because they learned shit that ain't had nothing to do with sex and finance, that they could not live with this person.
This person nasty. This nigga don't fucking wash his clothes.
This shit is crazy. And they battle and they end up exploding into a whole war. Yes. So I've seen those things. I've seen people meeting people through various forms of social media.
Yeah, or those dating apps.
Those things. I know one couple that met through, what was that, E-Match, or what was that one called? The Match.com. Motherfucker, I knew they both was crazy because the motherfucker sat there and answered 180 questions. So I knew you were fucking
question answer.
Answer 180 questions.
How you know it's 180 questions?
Because she told me. I asked her. I'm like, are you crazy? You completed that shit, that nigga? So y'all both crazy. I know y'all made for each other.
Well, that has to identify.
But this is the funny thing. When they got married, I almost went sour because soon as they got married, within 3 months, the person caught a real bad health issue. So the person thought they had got set up to be a caretaker for this person who didn't want to be by themselves. So it caused some problems.
Yeah, that's something you got to discuss. Am I gonna stay with you, nigga, if something happened?
You know you had that. You know you had a cancer diagnosis. You don't wait till we got married. Oh yeah, by the way, I got cancer in my family.
Not funny, but that's not cool either.
That's not. Come on, man.
But something like when you give your relationship time, things like that to come out. So let me ask you this hard conversation. So what happens when, okay, now you done got past these couple of years or whatever, now you in the thick of the relationship, whether that's now 4, 5, 7, 10, 15, 20, whatever, how many years. So what happens when you're starting to notice that this marriage ain't working? Do we throw in marriage counseling or relationship counseling?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think it's worth it?
I think, like I said, I think that people nowadays are too quick to throw in the towel. So I think that as long as there's not no issues where the person is outright domestic violence, where a person is being constantly beat on and abused.
That's a no-no.
You know, you got to leave those. Those are non-negotiables. But I think even infidelity, substance abuse, or because those are the main reasons why people break up is not because of cheating or spouse. It's because of finances.
Yeah, okay.
It's because of finances, and so
that's crazy.
And so for me, those things can be worked through, I think. And so marriage counseling is important. I'm not going to even lie. We've tried it. I thought it was a bunch of bullshit when we did it. We went to the reason why I thought it was a bunch of bullshit, because one thing it showed me was that one thing that we weren't doing properly was communicating. And so they gave us a form to communicate. And I think we both came to realization we don't need to pay these motherfuckers all this money to just talk to each other.
So somebody would say, well, technically the marriage counselor worked then.
So so I guess it did work because we just didn't do it for the whole session they wanted us to do. So we think we did 3 or 4 sessions, and then after that we made a decision. Well, we can do this with each other, and I think that's one of the things where we got into. What we do a lot is, believe it or not, is we just take rides in the car.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody in the car.
Yeah,
it's just you, and you're forced to talk to each other. You turn the music off, and we talk. And it could be about anything. It could just be about
trips or planning.
Trips, the kids, whatever.
Finances.
And so that helps.
It does.
And I do a lot of those take a smoking ride. Yeah. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
And listen to some music, and we
do
discuss different things. So that's what we do. But yeah, man, there were dark days, where I thought about and considered divorce. I don't know. I can't remember what year, but I would say maybe year 5, 7. It was, it wasn't dark, but I was just like questioning, did I have the commitment to want to keep doing this? But then at the flip side is, you look at the kids and things like, but the worst thing you can do is just stay in the relationship for the kids. But then I looked at it much bigger and larger than that I really love this woman. I love my kids. I love what the family meant. And I was willing to put in the extra work and to make certain compromises to ensure the success of it. So I'm glad that I did, but I'd be lying if I say I didn't think about divorce. I didn't talk to a lawyer to make sure that I was positioning myself correctly and things like this, because at the end of the day, divorce, this is a business, marriage is a business relationship too. And so I just want to make sure that I was going to be straight. And so, I'd be lying if I sit here and say that we didn't go through. And it was crazy because it wasn't because of nobody cheating, nobody being beat, money. It was just at some point in time, we just were not making that connection.
In sync.
Exactly.
And I don't think, and just to.
And I always used to say we were reading from the same book, but from different chapters.
Yeah. Yeah, so just to share the look, because I'm glad you actually brought that up, and I'm the reason why I say I'm glad you brought that up is because you brought that up from a male's point of view, because some men are not honest about that, are not honest about saying that out loud, or at least not to other people besides their boys and things like that. And so I would say here that I would be lying if I would sit here and say that as a woman, we did not go through that period, and we did not go through that. And I think going back to the marriage counseling thing. I'm laughing because ironically it worked indirectly. And like he said, yes, it was something that we decided that, okay. And I think part of it is just because we married young. I'm just being honest. We married young. No one came from
30. That ain't too young.
No.
I was 30 when I got married.
So I was under 30. So
I was 27. So
that's still under 30.
What's the average age of marriage? Look it up. I'm curious.
Okay. So I would say this with marriage counseling, I would say give it a chance. Because the thing about the counseling thing, and this is just all I'm saying about to couples. What was you asking me?
Average age of marriage.
So, I say do it because sometimes when you are in a space that feels unbiased.
In 28, so we was right on here.
So we were. That's in 2023.
30 or
in the 50s, it was 22.
We don't care about the 50s. Why would we care about
so in 2022, we got married. Well, that's still too far. It was 30 and 28. Either way it go, we got married during young age. But anyway, back to my marriage counselor. He's throwing me off with these statistics. Try it. That's all I can say is try it. Because sometimes, even if you're sitting there like this shit is the worst, sometimes being just in an unbiased space with an unbiased person that can hear you in an unbiased voice can sometimes shed a little bit of light on what it is that you may be lacking. I think, like he said, for us, we realized that we were not effectively communicating with each other. And again, what effective communication in a marriage is, that looks different for everybody. So I'm damn sure can't get nobody no tips on that. All I can say is you have to figure out what is effective for you and how that is. And ladies, effective communication does not mean cussing a nigga out. That's not effective communication. It really isn't.
Not all the time.
Not all the time. Now, sometimes, don't get me wrong, you got to be like, hey, nigga, do what you got to do. But that's not all the time. That's not every day.
Something else I think people need to do is surround themselves around other couples.
Yes, that are on good shit. That don't always argue. I think that's another thing. We try to always center ourselves around
so we don't have
positive
energy.
Yes, because that shit would. If you have a person who's going through marital stuff and you're their friend, you're going to go through it too. And little do you know, if you keep hearing about all the shit your friend man don't do, you get to looking at your own man in a different way and don't even realize that indirectly, subconsciously, you're doing
like it. I had a homie, and I remember when he asked me, man, you don't really kick it and come through. What's up? You got something, he thought me and him had a problem, and it really was that I didn't like the way he was treating his girl and the energy they had. So I didn't want to come around. I said something, but that's on him.
Right.
So I didn't. I just pulled my. He wasn't beating or nothing like that, but it was just the drama. The energy was negative, and so I just didn't want to be around that shit. Yeah. And so I pulled myself away from that or what have you. So because I don't want to be around it, man.
Yeah, we really try to protect our energy. That's probably why I was fucking trying to burn sage and stuff like that. We really try to protect our energy with other people, and even as we're finding new friends to kick it with, travel with. If it's an inkling that it ain't gon' mesh, we not fucking with it. No doubt. We didn't came through too much in our own relationship to get to a point where you allow other people to
about to be 20 years married, 25 years.
We got a nice friendship, a nice understanding.
This shit like a gang. The only way you out with this is with blood, nigga. Blood.
We like on level infinity right now, and we keep going. So, hey. So marriage counseling, if it don't work and it leads to divorce, you kind of shed a light on this earlier before, but what do you think are some of the leading causes of divorce now? Because it's not
just financial. What I hear what women say to some of the women that I've talked to that I know is that they say that he's not being a man, and I don't know what that really means. I think
what they tell you.
They mean it's like he's not stepping up and doing the things from a provider.
Okay. Going back to that PPP.
Going to that provider. And so that means different things for different women.
Okay.
And so it could be him paying all the bills. It could be he not coming up with his half of the bills or whatever he's supposed to be. He not coming up with the extra, or he lazy. He don't got no drive. He want to do the same, no motivation. So it could be, it's those sort of things that I've seen with the relationship. And then the other thing that I see is that women just say that emotionally the guy's very distant and mean to them.
Yeah, distant, I think, is the biggest thing.
And so I've seen that that these are the things that they say. I don't know,
right?
But I'm not like that. No. But this is what I see here from these women that are telling. And once again, this is anecdotal. This is not a huge sample size,
right?
But this is what they're saying.
People we know,
that they're divorcing is because they didn't catch the guy cheating. Mm-hmm. He ain't on no substance abuse. No. His money is
just people are at different points in their lives. Yeah.
But I think that that's something that can be worked through.
Yeah.
And some people not
willing to divorce easily.
Yeah, it's easy.
It may be easier to get a divorce than to work through it.
Yeah. And it's fucked up because that shit does fuck you up, especially if you put some time into it.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it's a business relationship. But
not even divorce. Even if you just common law with a person for like 15 years and then y'all decide to break up, that's devastating.
And there's going to be some winners and losers in that. And I think both parties lose to a degree in a divorce. Some are bigger losers than
others. Yeah, that is true.
And don't have kids. That really fucking just muddies the waters.
Oh, yeah. I tell you this, the biggest thing I hear about divorce is that it's expensive. Yeah, it is expensive. It's not cheap.
That's why they say it's cheaper to keep.
A lot of times during divorce, you end up finding out more things. So that's another thing that sometimes divorce can be shocking. Elements of divorce can be shocking because people pulling out all the punches. They trying to lay it all out like you ain't shit. That's why I'm doing it. So people, I guess, get out of character in a sense. Like now, all of a sudden, you my enemy because I want this divorce and I want I'm trying to take you for everything. So it's like all cards off the table. At the end, and I always say this, just because, and he always say this, the D.O.C. always say this about me, is that the boss lady is such a romantic person when it comes to, I'm like this, I'm an idealist versus a realist. He's a realist. He sees it for what it's worth. I'm the idealist. So when I hear that people are getting divorced or breaking up or going through stuff, even with us, it makes me sad. I don't like it because in my ideal world, you're supposed to be together forever, rocking to the wheels fall off. It ain't no divorce. It ain't no stopping.
I knew a nigga that was married almost 48, 50 years and they got divorced. She said she couldn't do it no more.
What do you do when you that long with somebody? Like, how
they were like in their fucking like 70s.
Because let me ask you this question. And this is a hypothetical question, but I just need to ask you this question. So, hypothetically speaking, we divorced today. How was your life after that? Like, that's just crazy.
Well, I know I'm not getting married again. I know that. I know that.
Ditto.
I would never get married again.
I wouldn't either.
If I went,
I don't even know if I would live with somebody again.
That would be hard for me to do that.
I don't think I would live
especially
with
after you live with, again. Especially in my situation where I've lived with someone for 20 plus
years. Yeah, I don't think I would live with anybody.
To get used to somebody else, that would take some time.
Yeah, and I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know if I would do that either.
I just don't know. Of course, you would want companionship and all that stuff, but living.
Yeah, but I don't know about
so that means that, and then too, the other thing is that the woman would have to be financially sound. Yeah. She could not have little kids. She would have to have grown kids. Because my kids are grown. Yeah. So it would be difficult to find somebody that aligns. And then dating now in this age, and so the age of social media, because I didn't date in the age of social media. That would be completely different. Oh, yeah, because you don't like social media like that. So, women love to text. I don't like the text. Oh, God, he is not a texter. So, he done got better with it. I think I done coached him how to get better with it. But yeah, women like to text. He's not a texter. So, I don't know. It would be difficult for me. Okay. Well, I put it to you like this. Oh, God, here we go with this PIMP stuff. I keep trying to tell y'all he think he was a pimp in his present life. So, okay. Well, this is the thing. At the end of the day, nobody wants to see anybody get divorced, but if you have to take that route, try to avoid it as much as possible, but also be real with yourself. And like the D.O.C said, we look at, even to this day, we look at our marriage as a business situation. And we tell our kids that when you're involved with somebody, the minute that your business don't start getting a return on that investment, it's time for you to pause and look at your profit loss lines. You know what I'm saying? And look at that. And start. So you saying if I went broke, that is a wrap? No, I'm not saying that, because we done been through so much together that if you had something that caused you to be broke, I'm gonna have your back and I'm gonna pull you through. Doubt. But if we done been through that, like we done been through that where I took promotions for academic reasons, and even when I literally first got into education, I went from making damn near. No, you have to give out the specific. And I'm not about to get specific, but I went from making. I went and I lost. Yeah, I couldn't. Sorry, I couldn't talk, but I took a 50% pay cut to jump into my field of special education, and that was something that was hard because then he had to pick up that slack. But once again, communication helps you get through that versus him saying, "Damn, she didn't quit a job and now I'm stuck." And but once again, we had talked about all of that and had mapped the plan. So if we had to execute that, this is what we want to do. Yes. Shit, we even had a plan for when COVID went down. Yeah, we keep plans. We keep plans in place. And we executed that shit. We got plans like, what if the kids say they're not going to finish school? Like, what's that plan? We keep plans in place. And I hate to sound like that, but that's just how we both think. So, well, thank you because that's a hard topic to talk about, divorce. And it's hard to just say, hey, been there, done that, but we done passed that road. We haven't looked. I don't think that word has come out of our mouth. And no, that's the thing hasn't come out. I haven't thought about that. I can't remember the last time. Cannot remember. And it's not anything I think about. Yeah. Even when people tell me that they're going through things, I'll be like, everything is cool, empty nesting, enjoying that. It's like we got the vibe back again. Yeah, we're dating again. So again, well, thank you. Now to our last part of this 3-course meal is our dessert, fair or foul, and this time it is geared towards couple. So fair, you like it, foul, you don't like it. So watching porn solo. Okay, so is that fair or foul? I'm gonna be the quick answer. Is people bring this up in their divorce? It's fair, but I know some people. It's kind of weird. Is that people think that watching porn by yourself is a form of cheating? It's kind of weird. I know some people. I know women that get pretty upset. Yeah, they do. At their only thing is, my only thing is if the nigga is watching something that he shouldn't be watching. What, like gay porn? Like if you catch your man watching gay porn, okay, I can see that shit. Definitely that. Other than that, those two things are off limit. I think if you watch porn by yourself, that's fine. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Shit, your man may be at work. Your girl may be at work. She may be on a trip. What, you gonna not watch it only when they sit next to you? Yeah, that don't make sense. Like that's like saying you can't go out, or that person can't eat. They gotta eat with you too. They're not allowed to go out. Next one, going out to a dinner or club solo. So you go out to either eat dinner or you go out to a club or a function by yourself. That's fair because it's built off trust.
Okay, I agree. I think that's fair too. I think we both then went out with our girls, guys, and we never had problems. But I do know couples where that is a problem. We actually know a couple right now that the husband can't do anything without the wife. Literally, every time it's something happening, she has to be within it.
Yeah,
and that is just nerve fucking wrecking. But hey, that's how some people live their thing. Next one, fair or foul, giving your partner access to your phone.
You know, when I look at it, I think that's fair. Initially, though, I thought it was foul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Initially, I think I did too.
But I think over the years, you've gone. It wasn't that I was hiding things. You just was a level of trust or what have you. And so you build that. So I don't have nothing to hide. Ain't nothing in that phone.
Okay, same thing. You can go through my phone and you're gonna see nothing but some porn. Maybe take your titty pictures, threesome pictures, something like that. Okay, next one: dressing and matching outfits. Fair or foul?
Foul.
So you ain't gonna dress up with me?
Great American outfit.
Now I like this. I like the same color scheme, but not the same outfit. Okay. Yeah. Last one: gossiping as a couple. Is that fair or foul?
I mean, you'd be lying if you say that you don't gossip as a couple. So that's fair. Okay. You talk.
Okay. We don't gossip as a couple, but we talk as a couple.
Yeah.
So, well, with that being said, thank you for partaking in this. I am so happy that we got this 3-course meal out the way. And before we go, we just want to tell you to subscribe to our channel. Check us out. Let's go.
Peace.